Okay, cool. Well, thank you all for allowing us to talk about garden things for the first 15 minutes. It was beautiful. I want to welcome you all back to the second Ringing Cedars open art event, Uplifted Voices. This is an event that was co-inspired by Hulda. We were on a call and I really was appreciating her music. And she said something about doing a sing along, and then, one thing after another happened. And kind of this open mic event was birthed through that idea. So a little bit of backstory real fast about the importance of sharing art, especially in any spiritual community, spiritual family, is that, Gabriel mentions this quote: with every movement, there's its music, or every movement has its music. Um, and, like, think about the Renaissance, and there's all these prominent eras in history where art was really the
Harbinger. Harbinger.
harbinger. Thank you for correcting me finally. I've been saying that word wrong in my head for so long. Harbinger of a new culture, and it always kind of is that emerging. So it's really, when we look at how this movement, the Ringing Cedars movement, has evolved in Russia, it was actually the bards, who the bards are Russian musicians, who spread this message. And it was only after they began performing that tons of settlements began to pop up and people began to be inspired. So we're at a very beautiful place in our movement here. We're kind of in the infancy, the adolescence. Maybe we're past the infancy. We're in the adolescent stage, and it's kind of about time that we start to really share our creative abilities. Because, like, I know myself, I have so many poems and so many things and whatnot, and I'm just not sharing them. And when we share something, it kind of like it resonates at another level. So this is an invitation to share any creation that you have, whether it be art, spoken word, a story, a poem, a song, whether it be a meditation technique, whether it be even something as simple as like a new business model that you'd like to tell us about, whatever it be. The time that we kind of allot per individual is about 5 minutes, but that's flexible. We do want to be respectful of everyone who'd like to go. But the idea here is that if you'd like to share something, you just put your name into the chat, and I will take note of it, and keep an order. And we allow time for everybody to share. When we're finished with the call, we sometimes have roundtable discussions about the beautiful things that we share, and then we end with a closed guided meditation. So the call will go till about 8:30, and in that time, it's to be filled with people's co-creations. So again, this is an open mic event. The only thing that we ask is that whatever you share, that it be generally uplifting. Obviously, not everything can be super, super joyful, maybe in your creations. But we definitely, don't want to have any slandering, any prejudice, sharings like that. And I'm probably talking to the choir here. Everybody wouldn't even think of sharing things like that. But yeah, besides that, I invite all of you to, if you have something that you'd like to share, a creation, we can kind of begin the open mic portion of this call, and you put your name in the chat, and we just kind of go in the order that things were received. And I'll obviously leave some time for that as well. But I do see somebody already wanted to share. Mark, you say you have an old recorded song. Mark's an amazing musician, my dear friends. You have an old recorded song that you like to play. Do you need me to play it, or do you have capacity to play that, Mark?
I have the capacity to play it, but if you look at the chat, I'm the third person, not the first.
Oh,
Fourth.
Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. My bad, guys. My bad. Yeah, no, I see those. I for a second, okay. Yeah, no, I was mistaken. Okay, hold up. You have The Language of Flowers. You'd like to share one of that 5-song series. Okay, I'm excited.
Anyone familiar with this book? The Language of Flowers? It's about a girl who was in the foster care system until she was emancipated at age 18. And she learned from a foster mother the language of flowers from like Victorian times. And people would give each other or send each other flowers to send messages in Victorian times. And this plays a huge role in the book. And it inspired me. I got to the end of the book the first time, and I discovered the glossary in the back. Oh, because I couldn't keep all the meanings of these different flowers in my mind. And so I read it a second time and kept referring to it. But I wrote these songs, 5 songs, which encompass 130 flowers and herbs. And I wrote them to help me remember the meanings of these. At least what is the meanings attributed in Victorian times. So this is what I call volume 2. Acorn, symbol of life and of immortality. Allium, prosperity. Alyssum, worth beyond beauty. Azalea, symbol of womanhood. Baby's breath, everlasting love. Lavender, heather, solitude. Bellflower, gratitude. Camellia, admiration. Hazel, reconciliation. Coriander, hidden worth. Lotus, flower of rebirth. Lupine, imagination. Love from above, carnation. White clover, think of me. Fern, oh, what sincerity. Pink camellia, longing for you. Lilac, the joy of you. All obstacles surmounts mistletoe. Time for grief, says aloe. Away with thy envy, O blackberry. Broom, bring thy humility. Butterfly, weed, oh, let me go. Joy, oregano. Fresh new start, oh, daffodil. Powerful dill against evil. Blossom of the peach, longevity. Gardenia, you are lovely. Eucalyptus, protection. Elder, compassion. Geranium, ingenuity. Hibiscus, delicate beauty. Dear mint, what virtue. Salvia, blue, thinking of you. Resolution, purple, columbine. Abundance of the grapevine. Temptation of the quince. Rosemary, remembrance. Rue brings grace and vision clear. Poinsettia says, be of good cheer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Wow.
I want
I don't
that
think
on
I don't think I've sung any of my Language of Flowers songs in this
No,
group.
you haven't.
And this is actually, these 5 songs are as yet unpublished, or maybe right now volume 2 is published. I wrote them summer before last, and I've been looking for artists to illustrate the flowers, because originally I was standing in front of a camera and singing my songs and making video. I don't want to stand there and sing about flowers, because there's a lot of flowers I still don't know what they look like, and others might want to know what some of these, hyacinth or I don't know, allium, some people know and some people don't, etc. So thank you.
Hold on, I want that song. Like, I want to share that with like my children. Like, that's such a beautiful thing to pass down. It's like makes so much sense of like how cultural information is passed. It's just by like creative work. That is so beautiful. Like I'm deeply touched, and I'm like, now I need to compose songs of information that I want to send down to my children. Gosh, that is awesome. I can't wait for you to publish it. And where can people find your music? Solari? Can you put the link in?
Yes, I'll put that in there. And if anybody here is artistic, like can do like a simple line drawing or what have you of some flowers, please. I've got some so far, and my first goal is to get 40 illustrated, because there's 40 verses in the 5 songs. So 130 is like, that would be a lot. And then I need to find someone who could turn these images into a slideshow for like an iMovie, because I haven't figured out how to do that.
That's really cool, Hulda. Wow. I'm just like thinking, abundance, grapevines. Did you do the hiccup on purpose? After grapevines?
Who knows?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. That's so good. That's so good. Everlasting Love, Baby's Breath. I remembered a couple in there.
Oh, good memory.
Rosemary, Remembrance. Yeah, wow, that was really cool, Hulda. I'm like, wow. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. I want to honor the next individual in line. Clifford Frankham, Hulda did put in our chat, highly recommend you check out our song, solari.com/Hulda. I can't say your name correctly. You'll correct me, so maybe you should say it.
/ not backslash.
/ Is it Nystrom? Nystrom, okay. Mr. Clifford, thank you so much for joining. It's been, I remember the last call you were on. It's good to see you, my dear friend. What would you like to share with us today? You're muted.
Okay. Yeah, it feels like show and tell to me. So if you don't mind, there's 2 quick little things. I'm actually in the middle of one right now, if you can see in the background. I don't know if I can we switch the cameras around? Is that possible? Or?
You should, if you're on a mobile phone, you should be able to.
Okay, let me, oh, there you go. I see it. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'll just go for it. So here we go. Okay, I'm building this. It's a gypsy wagon. And so I just want to quickly walk over it real fast. It's a handmade copper sink. This is what I'm going to be living on when I get on my domain. I found this. It's an 1800s, so I still have yet to restore it. Let me go through this. So I built this whole thing from scratch. I'm starting to move in. Here's my books. And this is my bedroom area. That's it.
Oh, whoa, wait.
Sorry, let me go back.
Walk us through this. I mean, wait, can you, is it's light out where you're at, or is this like in a shop?
I'm in a shop, so it's a little bit hard. Let me see if I can do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we see the outside? Like, I want to.
Yes. Let me show you what I'm doing. Sorry, I forgot to show this to you. So these are all going to be stained glass, and I'll show you that project really fast too, because I got one of them started.
Yeah,
so here we go from the outside. It's the back porch.
No way. Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so the doors.
Is that a cedar door?
It's actually a redwood. So I'm in Utah. Believe it or not, redwoods can grow here. So all this live wood shelving actually all comes from a redwood tree. I have a personal connection with those trees, and so I needed them. So I found it. Shall we come from the outside?
Oh,
Okay. So I do woodworking, so there's a lot of things here, right?
So,
But
so,
this,
so is that going to be a, sorry to interrupt, I'm just so enthralled. Is that going to be a big window?
yes, there's going to be 3. So see how in the background there's this one and this one.
Okay.
So there's one more that goes here, and then there's 3, 1, 2, 3, and then they open up. And so let me show you this. This is my stained glass work. So this is actual glass. This one, I haven't finished it yet, but it's actually going to go on this side. I kind of wanted to keep the glass and the design simple because, one, I'm kind of a beginner still at stained glass, but also I wanted to bring out my own childlike ideas and dreams and kind of revisit my own, that not really the childhood, but the child spirit within me. So I wanted to have that reflected in the simplicity of my, artist concepts.
So is the stained glass frame made out of wood and then you fit the glass panes in between that and then like clamp the wood together?
Yep, just like that. And then that way, if the windows break, you just simply unscrew this upper part and you can pull it out and replace it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, or you get bored of it, right? You just pull this out and put a different design.
So does your gypsy wagon, do you pull like a little compost toilet setup, or like what are we working with on that front?
Okay, so to keep it, a little more comfortable, let me go on top. All right, I got stairs.
There's an on top.
So here's the roof. So in this spot is where the hot and cold water tanks will go.
Mhm.
And then on the side, it'll be on that side though. On the side of the wood will be an on-demand water heater with a small propane tank. And then, let me show you. This is where all your bathroom stuff goes. I'm not shy. I'm okay with being out in the open.
Of course, yeah, right.
So the shower head will go here. A composter toilet will go here. So if you need a shower, I'm a guy, so just cover the bottom part and I can shower. If you need a bathroom, you just, go to the bathroom. I know it's pretty low tech and simplistic,
No,
but that was literally my goal anyways.
I'm taking notes.
Okay.
Clifford,
Yeah.
I want to come visit.
Who's that on the
Anytime.
wall? Who's that on the wall?
Oh, I'm LDS, so this is the founder of our church. I just love the photo, so I kept it. Yeah.
This is beautiful, Clifford. Oh my God.
One more little thing just to kind of do this. So the windows are, the lamps, and I'm not done wiring them in, are, now my goal is to help others too. So if I can help you guys, I will. So then this is what it looks like when the lights are on. I don't have this side wired in yet, but that's it. So up close, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful, Clifford. Oh my gosh, you got me inspired. I've been fortunate to be working on a couple carpentry projects right now, and your quality of work is extremely inspiring.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, especially like the stained glass. Like I know that's intricate to do. Like I mean, all the wood between, like it's absolutely beautiful. You're a true artist. True artist.
Thank you. And I don't know. I've been meaning to ask that question. So the Ringing Cedars, the artist, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. The scenes where whoever it is, somebody from Russia,
Yeah, Kumar
is doing
Alzanov.
these Who is it?
Kumar Alzanov. I believe I might be butchering his last name.
Okay.
Kumar. Yeah, I can. He's
Because I
got.
want his paintings here. So this is my bedroom, and I want this to be a place of dreaming and thinking of family, and you know what I mean, my sacred domain. I want to be surrounded with those images when I wake up and go to sleep. And I love whoever that artist is. I love his work.
Yeah, I'm gonna send the link in the chat right now. So he is on VK, which VK is a oh, seriously, my account's not going right now. Okay, anyway, he's on VK, which is like a Russian type social media. If you also just look him up. But there's a place where you can get some of his photos. Some exciting news regarding Kumar coming soon to the foundation. But yeah, definitely check him out. Kumar, I can write his name in the chat.
Okay.
I believe I'm spelling that right. Let me see. Yep.
Great. And I don't remember her name right now, but I love that song, and I really wanted to say that out loud. That was beautiful to me.
It's talking about you,
Um,
Hulda.
Oh,
yeah, I love your song. That was beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to sing too.
Oh, yeah.
The melody, the melody's really nice.
Did you recognize the melody?
It's Edelweiss, isn't it? From Sound of Music.
Yeah.
Too young to know.
Yeah.
I'll steal from anywhere.
It's okay. I love it. I don't have enough to say about it. It's just beautiful. That's all I just wanted to say. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. It's not any less beautiful or any more beautiful, I want to say, than your artistic creation with your living space.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear from everybody else and all their creativity. Just one quick thing though before I hand it back over to you guys. So I mentioned before that I own a small mining company, and it looks like some of these loans are going to go through. And if that's the case, I may be able to come up with some property for those are in Utah, because I'll be mining, but it's not destructive the way you think. It's actually a lot of it's mostly reclamation and cleaning up the land. And so as I come across these properties, honestly, I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want my production to get in the way or to disrupt the sacredness of your domain, whoever wants one. But if I can help in any way and I'll offer some land once it comes up, I'll offer that as well. And then of course, with the heavy equipment that I'm using to mine, I can help you with larger projects that you may need for your land. So that's it.
Clifford, are you familiar with primary water?
No.
Most water in this realm, on this planet, or whatever the shape of the thing is created inside the earth, deep in the earth, in the there's different ideas as to whether it's rocks grinding out the hydrogen and the oxygen, or whether it's coming like from the sun. There's trying to remember who a scientist says that it's the sun is actually water, which is quite a mind blower, and that it comes through the poles. The water comes to the earth through the poles.
That's really interesting, because I felt like I received a vision that that's actually also the same exact way that all the minerals are formed, is that it's these small particles, and the earth acts like a fusion generator, and then it creates this stuff. Because just like what Anastasia was saying, I'm sorry, I say her name very American, so I apologize, but that all the minerals and everything are being created by the sun and the stars and everything else, is those little small particles that you're talking about. It just it gets pulled into the earth, and then the earth uses those elements to create, and we get what we get today. And
primary water is abundant. It's like unlimited. And there's also, like you mentioned, minerals, oil. There's also like primary oil. It's abundant. It's not going to ever run out, like we're being told with all this fear porn.
Yeah. I just think that this stuff eventually will come to an end, right? With the future of what we're trying to work towards. Most of that, our need or desire for it will just simply go away one day. And I personally believe that minerals or things like that are designed so we can not to be greedy, but to create. You know what I mean? To create things of beauty. So we don't need tons of it, just a little bit here and there. And if your heart doesn't desire it, because in the end, money really has no business. You know what I mean? Like in the long run, I don't believe it does. I think the exchange is between human hearts and not letting anything get in the way of that. That's why I don't really believe that, that, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I mean, we use money now, but I just don't think it at higher levels of states of being, we don't need money or anything that we consider to be money, such as gold or silver. It's not used for money anymore, but it's used for sacred and beautiful things. And I don't want to pretend to justify tearing into the land, you know what I mean? Because that for me one day is going to end too. But anyways.
Thank you so much, Clifford. I also
Yeah.
put a link to the chat to our community foundation, or our community platform in the chat. I would highly recommend that if you have any sincere offer, to post that on our community platform. It's a really specific place. It's our own network. We own all the servers and everything. Highly recommend that if you have a sincere offer about land, that would be the safe and sacred space to put it. And
nice.
yeah, you can see where people are at on there. It's a really beautiful application. We'll have a mobile app out soon. Thank you so much for your share, dear friend, for your spirit. It's a pleasure to have you on the call. Thank you so much.
Wyatt, is on the community platform, are there links to the Telegram groups?
So no, however, if you go to our basic page, which if you scroll to the very bottom of the community platform, it'll say Anastasia Foundation. Oh yes, there is. My bad. I'm lying. If you go to the very bottom of the page, there is active kind of what do you call those? Emblems, icons. There's icons, and there's a Telegram one, a Facebook one, a YouTube one, and an email one. So yes, if
Cool.
at the bottom of the page.
Clifford, I put a message for you in the chat.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Urzi, thank you so much for waiting patiently. And I'm really excited to hear you mentioned this song on our Telegram channel. And I'm really excited to hear what you have here. No pressure, but I'm really excited.
Thank you. Yeah. This is the first song I've ever written, and I wrote some words and then I thought, I don't know how to write music. And then this voice in my head was like, well, you don't have to, just start singing. So that's how this was created. Like, it just bubbled up, I guess. And it's for Anastasia or Anastasia. And it's because I haven't been able to share her vision. My closest friends are not interested in reading these books. And so I just kept on thinking, like, how could I share a message in a way where someone who doesn't, one of my friends who doesn't want to read the books, like maybe they'll listen to a song. So anyway, that's how this happened. So this is like a first song and a song for Anastasia. Anastasia. What if the trees here in this place gather starlight round us in this space? A living pond gathers the rain, your lips to living water awakens a remembering of a love that's surrounded by a garden. Oh, to breathe, hear something opens, whisper of leaves, raindrops upon them, fruit and seed, flowers that bore a love that's surrounded by a garden where strong roots reaching down anchor a love, two souls recrown hectares of earth. Here hold each family called by a song, woven through eternity of a love that's surrounded by a garden. Oh, to breathe. Here something opens, whisper of leaves, raindrops upon them, fruit and seed. Flowers that bore them, bore a love that's surrounded by a garden, whose voice calls to light the way, who called the sun to warm the day. Could it be he hears your soul, that sunshine smile? It points him home to a love that's surrounded by a garden. Oh, to breathe. Hear something opens, whisper of leaves, raindrops upon them, fruit and seed. Flowers that bore them, bore a love that's surrounded by a garden. Untamed light, unbound, dance in these trees, a light, a star above. Could it be she sees your soul, that sunshine smile? It calls her home to a love that's surrounded by a garden. Oh, to breathe. If something opens, whisper of leaves, raindrops upon them, fruit and seed. Flowers that bore them, bore a love that's surrounded by a garden. Each curving branch, they hold memory of the hands that held each seed so lovingly. Could it be they know your soul, that sunshine smile warms this living home of a love that's surrounded by a garden. Oh, to breathe. Hear something opens, whisper of leaves, raindrops upon them, fruit and seed. Flowers that bore them, bore a love that's surrounded by a garden. Our bare feet upon cool ground, meeting the earth in silent sound. Could it be we live this way, tending the earth, so love can stay?
Wow. That was absolutely phenomenal, man.
Beautiful. I wanted to go on and on.
Did you draw that?
And this is an image that I created. I had this vision of like making a music video, but I have to learn how to do music or collaborate with someone. But yeah, I started making images. So this is like a Kin's domain image I started drawing for that when that happens.
Like
So,
like a settlement. There's a bunch of them.
yeah. Yeah, I can probably photograph it and share it at some point. But yeah, it's going to be a multimedia thing at some point.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, that was such an amazing performance. Thank you for gracing us with that. Honestly, that's yeah, I had like clear and distinct images come to my mind as you were singing, especially when you said the line about raindrops. I was like, I don't know, it was like I almost was like there in a space where like the clouds were out and the rain was dropping, and it was like these two people that were just like that was such a beautiful song, man. Like, yeah, definitely. The love, what did that comment say? The love spoke directly to the heart. Yeah, Anastasia is smiling with us. Yeah, thank you so much. Like, that was, wow.
Hi.
Yes.
Oh, damn it. I put things in there. That was so beautiful. I don't know if this like rings, like, I don't, if you've heard of Finhorn, but like just listening to your voice and the words you were saying, like, just gave me this essence of that place in Ireland where like they're kind of, I guess, like doing this book in kind of real life. So yeah, I'm new to, like, I haven't read the books, but I've gotten the sense, and yeah,
She's
it was
gotten the
just
gist of
beautiful.
it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I totally have read The Magic of Fintorn or Finetorn, and it was one of the first books that started opening up my mind to like, oh yeah, it's fairy stories are not just fairy stories. People live them and like live like that. So yeah.
It's in Scotland, I think, not Ireland, right?
Yeah, I need to look into it again. I was looking into it like 3 years ago. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of I've heard that, you know, they love, for generations now, they really love their plants, and their plants are really huge. Their vegetables are huge, huge. You know, to most people, unexplainably huge.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's beautiful.
I can imagine you singing that to your children. I kind of think of you guys as songs as like, you know, like they become sacred for you personally, for your families, and for your own heart's love for, yeah.
Erzi, I would love to play guitar with this. I was just writing that in the chat. Like, I would love, like, I want to hum this song like in my sleep. Like, I would love, I don't know how we can, if you're open to that. But I'd love to just like learn it just because it's beautiful.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
Okay, we'll connect. Sorry, Alex, go ahead.
I was gonna say, jumping in on that theme, I was feeling like perhaps some very light drumming would also complement it so well, and then maybe even I play the cello, maybe even some really background deep cello sounds would complement it. I'd love to jump in any collaborative efforts you guys put together.
All right. We're making a group telegram. We're making a group triangle telegram here. That's happening. That's done. All right. That's cool. Whew. I honestly, guys, this is like really.
Can I join you with my ukulele?
There we go.
Hi, Wyatt.
Yes.
I'd like to join you with my ukulele.
Yeah, we'll add you to the chat.
Okay. And I wanted to express what happened here during the song here at this Aloha Food Forest. And I'm playing this out loud in the garden, and I walked around the garden as the song was playing, and it was so spiritual. It was so filled with the spirit. It was like the garden was listening to that song. And it was one of those things where you're just mind blown at how God or whatever connected the voice to the garden and all of us together. And I know that the infinite abundance is here, and we all know it, and we have the skills to take it back, and we will do it. And I'm so thankful for all of you.
Thank you for sharing that too. It's a beautiful reflection.
Thank you. It's funny that you're in an Aloha garden, because I'm in Hawaii right now. I'm on the Big Island of Hawaii. Yeah.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I lived on Molokai for a while, and that's where I learned about aloha, the spirit of aloha. It's a spirit, and it's such a good one. And I also like ho'oponopono, which is also, you know, that I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. As a good system to replace the legal system goes with aloha.
Yeah,
So,
I've
but thank you
personally
so
used,
much. You sang to the garden. She heard you.
yeah, I've personally used
Go
the
ahead.
Ho'oponopono a lot, and on personal healing and on other people, and it just works so well. But I remember years ago, maybe about 25 years ago, people talking about it, and it didn't feel like it was really working whenever I did it. And then my consciousness changed to understand that we are all one. And then when I meditated on we are all
Oh,
one,
yes.
at the same time as doing Ho'oponopono, people got well and I got well, and I changed, you know, emotional patterning and social conditioning. And wow, does it ever work?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I think it is definitely part of our permaculture, or, you know, our permanent new earth culture, using that to replace the law.
Yeah.
Ho'oponopono.
Does everybody know the story behind Ho'oponopono? I'm sure that you would be a better person to say it briefly, but
Well, what I understand about it is there was a man in Hawaii who was in charge of prisoners, and he began speaking the words Ho'oponopono to them. And from there, it took on is, I'm sorry, I love you. Please forgive me, and thank you. And then you can work out the details. But I think that's a good place to start.
yeah, he
Because
was working with
unity is what
criminally
the
insane people. Criminally insane people. He was working with the criminally insane, and he healed them.
yes, yes. So anyway, yes, but let's get back to the beautiful song. This was so fun. I'm sending aloha to all.
Beautiful song.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that reflection too, and those thoughts, Paramatma. Ho'oponopono. Mr. Mark, you have another song that you'd like to share with us, and
You're very welcome.
yes, of course. Mark,
I was thinking if Alexander, since he's still here, he said he might have to go. Do you want to go ahead of me?
do you have to go, dear friend?
I still have about a half hour I can stick around, 20 minutes to a half hour. So if you want to go, Mark, I'd love to hear your
Okay,
song.
well, I feel like I'm cheating. I'm not going to sing it. I'm going to play a recording of it. I wrote this song in the late 70s, and it's called Champion of That.
Cool blue crystal diamond studded stardust conveyed to you that nameless thing somehow I am guitar moss. Air of heaven touches sky, cool clear water flowing, pure delight, ecstasy, nourishment bestowing. What is it I wish to show? Cool and clear and flat, vibrant, shining consciousness, I'm champion of that. Kisses eyes, nose and ears, kisses every fiber, kisses of celestial light of that become imbiber, kisses heart, soul and mind, kisses all our journeys, transforms to play of happiness, our troubles and our journeys. What is it I wish to show, cool and clear and shining? Core of life, intelligence, all this intertwining. Creative life, sparkle, shine, stillness dances lightly. Perfect day, perfect night, perfect sunshine brightly. Scintillate, effervesce life, it bubbles ever. I am you, thou art that, we are all forever. What is it I wish to say, what to have you realize? Just that we, you and me, two lives for glory we will
Beautiful.
Beautiful, Mark. That was crystal clear. Wait, I'm glad we went ahead with it.
It really was clear.
Yeah.
Well,
That
thank
was
you
beautiful.
for your
That was
patience.
beautiful. Is that you singing also?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
It's
I've written,
beautiful.
I've written over 100 songs, and some of them are available, you know, on my website and my poems and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, can you put that link in the chat?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I want to honor the next. Looks like we have a duet in line here. Natasha and Sela. Am I saying your name correctly? Maybe, maybe not. Selah. Yes, Selah. They're singing Positivity by Beautiful Chorus. I'm not sure if they... Are y'all ready to go? Maybe they have the music, our volume turned down. I'm not sure. You guys ready to go?
Hey.
Hey, your turn.
Aloha. We're new besties, and so we just been listening and also chatting away, and
No, that's totally
super
cool.
excited.
You guys are up. You're gonna be singing a song.
Yeah.
Positivity by Beautiful Chorus.
Yeah. Does anybody know it?
Uh-uh.
No? No one? Okay. It's pretty easy to catch on to.
Yeah.
We're just gonna, we'll see how this goes. We haven't really ever sung. Well, we sung together a little bit. But.
Yeah. we met at a song circle, and it was really fun. And this is a really fun song, and it's also a very beautiful, like, if you want to look them up after, they're called Beautiful Chorus, and it's this group of women that harmonize together and sing like mantra songs, and they're just really fun and beautiful and very heart filled. So
Good vibration.
yeah. And she's, yeah, so we'll
Okay.
just kidding.
Okay. Please bring positivity into my life every day. Please bring positivity into my life every day. Please bring only joy and peace and everything that is love. Please bring only joy and peace and everything that is love.
Ooh. Please bring positivity into my life every day. Please bring only joy and peace and everything that is love.
Please bring only
Joy and peace and everything
that is love. Please bring positivity into my life every day. Please bring positivity into my life every day.
Yeah, that was good. Cool.
My first time ever. And she's like a professional.
Man, that was beautiful. You guys are natural together. I'm like waiting for the next duet series to come out, right? Like, are you ever yeah, there's gonna be like a whole series we can watch on this.
Oh yeah, like we've, song has been coming
together.
Yeah, song brought us together, and like, just feeling into the world right now, and the bards of the world, and like we're just, like we've been saying, like people can listen to songs, people can feel more through a song, and like the tonality and the pictures that we bring, and it's just like, it's so cool. In Africa, they say if you can walk, you can dance. If you can talk, you can sing. And it's just so cool. We have these bodies, we have these voices, we can express like love ya instead of the F word,
I love it. I
Willow!
love
Oh, do you know Willow? Is that Willow?
No, that's not Willow. That's another Willow.
That's not a Willow.
That's Willow.
Oh, aloha, Willow. Nice to meet you. I know Willow's sister in Utah too. Woo! Glitter. Yeah. If anyone's in Utah, by the way, like we're definitely starting to get like song circles and gatherings of this sort, and also, the Ringing Cedars gatherings, I like to call them, even though maybe some of the people around don't know that they're Ringing Cedars gatherings. But I'll bring that full circle. So, yeah.
I'm in Utah. So
what was that?
I'm in Utah.
Who's in Utah?
Hold on.
You're
I
saying
can't
that.
see. Hold on.
Oh, Clifford.
Yeah. Aloha,
That's
Clifford.
it.
I saw you on one of the calls. You're in Orem, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Nice to meet you. Well, I mean, I am on the Telegram chat. I can definitely shoot out a message to you when we have a gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had one yesterday night, and it's gone in today to this. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Thank you
Aloha.
so much. That was beautiful. Awesome. Cool. Well, this has been a fun-filled evening. We're done. No, I'm just joking. We got more time. Alex, you're up, my friend.
Awesome. All right. So I think I did say what I was going to share, a poem. So I got to share one at the first Ringing Cedars gathering we did at Nanda Village, and this is not going to be the same one, but I've got a few to share. So here we go. I apologize. I have a bit of a mouth sore on my tongue, so my speaking maybe it'll add an element to it. We'll see. Okay, so to weep and fall onto the earth is to see the grand entwined and spun, the etching of the caring sky and sun, that your palm doth know and breath out feel. Till intake breath, gasping, it grips you tight. The earth is shifting, the rough rumble deep, and it entwines you in rooty limbs that spring to life with each forlorn heartbeat. In bulbs of green above you, the roots entwine, eclipsing the dreams in your mind, while you are raised up, breath held close inside, and you feel but don't dare see. Walking above and below the world, hands grounded in earth, feet wandering the canopy sea, joining the vivaciously adorned sky, you think back upon your journey up, a cocoon of vines, the fiery bursts of your light, and all the creatures on the climb, their courage and lanternous searching eyes. And with such recollections of home and myth, your crack of lips sends messages of flight, thinking of the day where with insight, the space between the words will send you a light. And that's that.
Man, when you said the line, can you repeat the line for me real fast? And you think back, can you repeat the line before that and that line and then the line next to it? Because there was something interesting that you said there.
All right. I'll start at the beginning of the stanza right before where you wanted me to start. So walking above and below the world, hands grounded in earth and feet wandering the canopy sea, joining the vivaciously adorned sky, you think back upon your journey up, a cocoon of vines, the fiery burst of your light, and all the creatures on the climb, their courageous and lanternous searching eyes.
Wow. It's a really interesting sensation that kind of comes over me when you say the words and you think back. And then it's like what you say before that and what you say after that that makes me feel that way. But it's the fact that you're asking me to think back. Like, I don't know, man. There's something interesting there. Like it's an interesting feeling that I want to, yeah, it feels really good, familiar. Like you said, I don't know. I'm running a word circle right now because that's how it feels. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, man. Is there any way like we can read this anywhere?
I don't currently have it typed up anywhere. Perhaps I've been thinking about for a while, trying to create some sort of website and putting some of my work up on that.
So why don't you just post it on the community platform?
I could do that as well. Yeah. So
because that's
an idea.
There's the group on their inspired artistic creations. And there's a lot of art in there. Yeah, inspired artistic creations. Rhea Johnson. Rhea, if you're watching this, hello, dear friend. Haven't seen her in a while. Oh, it says Gabriel's the organizer. Oh, interesting. Well, Rhea did start that. Yes, anyway, please, if you feel called to, of course, I know it's poetry's challenging. Sometimes it's personal, but if you feel called to, would love to read it.
I at one point tried to match visual art with my poetry, and that's how I was thinking about presenting it in an online form. I don't have visual art for most of my newer poems, but I did experiment with that in the past. But yeah, it's interesting when you talk about really being captivated by you think back. I guess this poem can be a little challenging, especially maybe the pace I gave it to you, to really to be on the same track as what I'm thinking. And one of the beauties of poetry is you can have your own experience with it. But I take the poem almost in a non-linear progression. I start with this grounding, and then all of a sudden you're up in the sky essentially, and then you have this very sweet reminiscence of your journey up. So it for some reason, when I was writing it, that's the way I wanted to portray it. This kind of this sweet daydream, to find yourself in the midst of the ground and the trees and the vines and the roots, and then to find yourself in the sky, and then to think about the trip in between. Is a really basic way of describing what the progression of the poem.
Yeah. Yeah, echoing what Urzi's saying, definitely a visceral feeling to it, for sure. For sure. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, brother. Getting close on time, but I know, Paramatma, did you want to share a piece of music? Is that what you were suggesting?
Yeah, yes, I'd love to share a piece of music that I think is one of the most beautiful pieces I've ever heard, or the voice that I've ever heard. Sinkar is, do we have time?
Yeah.
It'll be like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sinkar is part of our international community, and she went on to be a really great recording artist. But I've listened to her stuff that she made after this, and it never came as close. Her voice never came as close as this song, because this was done when she was really young, and her voice was so clear. And the words to this song are about just feeling God in the river and feeling it everywhere, and oh God, beautiful. And she hit some beautiful high notes. So I would like to share it. I've shared it in my yoga class. I know how to turn on a different mic, so I can't talk. So I hope you really enjoy this. You'll probably just want to close your eyes and float away. Okay, here it goes.
Okay. Parmount, that was the most perfect song to end this amazing evening. Like, you just turned me on to a whole new artist. So that song is called Oh God.
It's called Oh God Beautiful. I don't, you might still be able to get it at spiritvoyage.com, possibly. I don't know. I haven't seen it around for years. I had to go digging through my old tapes and stuff because it's one of the most beautiful songs, if not the most beautiful song I've ever heard. I know she was very young when she did that. It's called, it's Singcar, Singh car. But I have Googled her and Googled that on YouTube, and her voice is nothing like this because this was done when she was very young. Songs of the Lord's Love is the name of the album. Songs of the Lord's Love.
Okay. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Wow.
She wouldn't record for a long time. Everybody told her she should record, and she only looked at her music as a spiritual practice, and for a long, long time when she was young.
Wow.
But this was
Yeah.
recorded when she was young. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Jeez, yeah, I got that saved in my tabs now. Wow.
So Mark says it's on iTunes.
Yeah, I see it on Spotify.
It may or may not be her early version. This is her early version on the album Songs of the Lord's Love. It may be, I listened to it recently, but it could be. It could be. Cool.
Alex, I want to echo what you're saying, man. I can't wait to share and have this interaction around a fire with you guys under the starry night, and trees by our side blowing in the wind, and crickets maybe echoing in the songs and the poems. Yeah. Yeah.
So I would like to show my artwork some other time because I know that we're running out of time. I have it all on my website, and I can, people could go to my website sometime when we do this again. I think it's a little hard to, yeah, sorry.
No, I just saying bye to Alex. You said he had to head out. I was just saying bye. That's all.
Okay.
Bye, Alex. Yeah, we'd love to see the link, and then next time we can definitely share.
Should we do it by just me putting in the link and all of us going to the link, or I mean, because I'm not at home anymore right now.
I think it would be best next time if I can just share it, if you can share your screen maybe.
Yeah, I'm not okay. I mean, having the actual art piece is going to be awkward.
No,
because
I mean,
you can't get the angle.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, if you share your computer screen, you go to the website and you share your computer screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Yeah.
Beautiful. Guys, I know we were a little bit past time, but I would just really love to close with like at least like a 2-minute, just honestly, just like gratitude. Like, I don't know. I feel my heart is extremely full from this evening, and I just think it's really I know it's really powerful what we're doing here. So if you all would not mind joining me for 2 minutes, we're just going to close our eyes and just feel some gratitude. It's not going to be anything complex. So I invite you to close your eyes and just take a deep breath. And another deep breath. And mentally picture to yourself someone from this call sitting right beside you. Just one person or many, Mentally picture them sitting right beside you and they're breathing with you. You can hear them breathing. You can feel them breathing. And beside them is someone else breathing. And we're forming this beautiful circle. I take Alex's image with a glowing fire in the center, and the stars are overhead. And the fire is crackling, and there's little animals in the distance, and the wind's blowing through the trees. Maybe there's waves in the background. And our breath is unison. It is one heart, one mind. We're breathing together. And I invite you to recall something from this evening that made your heart do something. Maybe it skipped a beat. Maybe it got a little lighter. Maybe there was some shivers, chills down the spine. I invite you to recall those moments where your heart was touched. Maybe it's many. And now mentally picture to yourself that individual who shared that so touching, that soul touching piece. Recreate them as best as you can, sitting now in front of you. And notice the sense of deep gratitude for this universe individual, this universe man and woman, the son and daughter of God himself. Recognize that in this beautiful individual sitting in front of you. Their courageous spirit. And feel this absolutely nourishing warmth start flowing out from your chest. This warmth of gratitude. And it's filling this individual with an invisible light. This gratitude is an encouragement. It's an upliftment. It's a strengthener, a toner, a purifier, a kindler of the inner flame. Feel this deep gratitude for now all of those on this call who shared, and for all those who didn't, and for all who are watching and will watch. And this deep gratitude for our ability, our sacred ability to be able to reflect the essence of creation in artistic expressions, to reflect the most essential thing. May we together, hand in hand, continue to express the truth in our souls, the true spirit of pristine, original man. May all of the inspirations from this evening go like shooting stars into our hearts. And may they encourage us to create more and more art. Art that expresses the truest source, the truest light, and our one true dream. Taking a deep breath, all is one. Breathing out, all is one. Coming back into the room. back into the body. Body nourished by this gratitude. And feeling free to open your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you all so much for being here. This is an absolute epic achievement of humanity that we are here expressing what we're expressing. This hasn't been done for thousands of years, and it's quite an honor to be here to witness these creations that are signifying the dawn of a new age. These are things that, even though it's on the internet, it's going to live forever in our hearts and maybe for a very long time on the internet. Absolute pleasure and joy. The next call, I assign the date sometimes based around my schedule. I know I will try to make this next one on Tuesday. Tuesdays are just really hard days to add something. Wednesday.
Oh, Tuesdays are very full for me. I don't think I
Oh.
could do Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I know you. Okay, so it is Wednesdays. That's a good day for you. Okay. So I think the next one of these will probably most likely be on February 22nd. And yeah, this has been absolutely amazing. Urzi, it's so good to see you. So good to see all of you, but I haven't seen Urzi in a while, so I gotta say hi to Urzi. So good to see you, sending you so much light where you're at. The sun's shining there, it looks like. Yeah, looking forward to collabing. Yeah, does anyone have any closing remarks?
I have.
Let's hear it, Tutu. You always got good words.
Okay. All is well and we are all. All is well and we are all. That's it.
I love it. That's the truth.
Yay. Well, mwah.
Thank you all so much for being here. There's a Kins Domain design call next week on the 31st. And Ariane has a guided, maybe, I don't know. Hold on. Let me not say that. I'm not sure about the timing on that. But yeah, Anastasia.foundation website. All our events are posted there. Telegram group, community platform, YouTube channel. Check it all out. Love you all. Big things are coming. Books are getting republished. So many new things to announce. Gabriel will be announcing soon. Love you all. Life is good. Thank you so much.
Does everyone know how to save the chat if you want to hang on to those different connections?
If you'd like to save the chat, yeah, it's the three dots on the right side of the where you type a message. There's an option by the emoticon face. That's 3 dots. You click that. Alrighty, dear friends. Bye for now.